Bit on Crypto, episode 2, with our special guest, Michael. Welcome.
Hello.
Of
Want to
course.
go ahead and
of
introduce
course,
yourself?
Me, myself?
Yes.
Of course.
Don't know what much to say. Name is Michael. I worked with that guy, and I currently work near the other guy. Out of the three of us, I definitely have the least knowledge of crypto, but I'm always, up to learn, and my roommate is really big into crypto, so I'm always kind of secondhand knowledge, just absorbing stuff. So, always fun to learn new things.
That's right. Neither of us know anything either. So.
And I know somehow less.
Don't worry. We know little things here and there, but we try our best to just stick with stories that keep us captivated. First story that's been making the rounds the past 2 weeks is, how when you have a corporate job, they give you a company car?
No, I've never had that privilege.
I'm just saying.
They do that?
Yeah, they do that. Amazing, right? So the corporate car of this said company, they gave this guy a Tesla as a company car, and since it's a company car, he gets a company card to do refills on it. So he went out of his way to find out how to reprogram the computer, because that's what Tesla is. It's basically a computer car, car to mine crypto. And every day, as long as it's charged, it's mining up to 80 to $90 a day. But granted, one of the caveats for that is he needs to keep it charged the whole time. And to keep it charged the whole time, he spends around 50 to $80 a day on just charging it.
So he's making $60 a day.
But again,
sounds like he's making $10.
Company on his account, company card.
So he's getting reimbursed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean,
so
sounds like a lot of effort.
He's making what I'm making, and just by doing literally nothing.
Okay, but
maybe a little bit less, but still, for doing.
And then half the time he just has it charging home, so it's always plugged in.
Yeah.
Just like a computer.
But what is it? How much effort do you have to go through to get your car to solve math equations?
He actually posted everything on a Reddit chain. So if you ever want to do that with your Tesla, by all means.
Oh, my Tesla, right?
Yeah.
By all means.
But the thing is, if you actually company card,
if we ever get one. I think all we're getting is Little Caesars for every 2 weeks.
We're getting our company slice of Little Caesars.
You know those little eighth of a slice that you get at the school party. Yeah.
When they cut the slices in half.
Yeah.
So there's more slices.
If they keep upping their prices, we might not be able to get Little Caesars.
Oh, there we go again.
We might need to go to Papa DiGiorno.
You know what's funny though? As soon as you mentioned that topic last week, I saw a commercial for Little Caesars, and I've never seen a commercial before for Little Caesars. So
it's one of those. It's that thing.
I'm like, what's going on here?
If you talk about something, or if you hear something, even if you've never talked about it or heard about it before, you will start to see advertisements for it. I don't remember what it was. It was something like some there was another restaurant or some food place, and I'd heard of every now and then, but then I heard it more directly from a friend that we were just drinking or at a Starbucks or something, and the next day, like 3 or 4 times, almost back to back, like watching YouTube, ad, the same place, and I'm like, can I just mute every device that I have? Can I at least see ads that I want to see?
As funny as that is, I think most of it's not nefarious. They use location data, what you search, stuff like that. But I've had some really weird coincidences that just cannot be explained. Like I'll talk to my mom sometimes about how I want to get LASIK done, and suddenly I'll just have LASIK commercials, ads, banner ads on Google, Instagram. It's so weird because it without fail, I'm sure I'll get one later. It always
Most
comes up.
likely, most likely, one that's not really predatory towards what you talk about or what you say. You guys remember getting your first car? You guys remember?
Mhm.
You guys
Yeah.
remember getting your first car? And now, since you have that car, you can see that car everywhere. Like
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
know if it's that car.
True.
Well, for me, I don't have that much of a problem having a Saturn. I don't really see too many more Saturns.
but
They
you know
kind
what
of
I'm saying. Like for actually having the car for a little bit, you could point out your car when you're just casually seeing it pass by you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's my
Yeah.
car. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, as much as we like to joke that it's nefarious, I really do think that it's just big data. Like they're pulling multiple sources of literally everything. So you probably read like a post or an article or something that mentioned that thing, and then it's in the back of your mind, and then
I'm not gonna
you
lie to you. The older
subconsciously
I
come
get, the
across it.
more articles I click on. I'm like, dude, and then the more I realize they're just clickbait. They only have two
Mhm.
paragraphs, and they don't go.
Oh.
They don't. They're
Yeah,
legit.
dude.
Like they just make
There's
you click on it.
I don't know if it's. I mean, I know everybody probably has different versions of it. There's like the Google stories where they have like the top articles, and it's
Mhm.
that. It's headline, paragraph, picture, paragraph. Hey, read these other articles. And I'm like, I mean,
You forgot
sometimes I'm
the you
happy that.
forgot the you forgot the 80 ads in between.
Well, yeah, that's
Yep.
implied.
Yep.
I think everyone assumes that,
Yeah.
but on the one hand, it's annoying that like I'd rather I want to read a whole article, but then again, once I learned that, I'm like, oh, I can just, as bad as it is, like I can read the headline and I know what
Yep.
the article is. So it's
A lot of it is bad journalism, but a lot of it is actually they use just AI to make articles. Like
yeah,
they're very simple, like programs, and it literally just makes articles out of nothing. It gathers its own sources and writes.
It's funny
It's
that you bring that
ridiculous.
up. It's funny that you bring that up. A very popular YouTube channel called Good Mythical Morning actually did a YouTube video today about having AI make their episode today, and they actually did
Was it a
it.
good episode?
I enjoyed it. And during that, I'm not gonna spoil the episode, but it did make, like, through the little information that it gave, the little AI system, they did basically duplicate it to an extent.
So what were they feeding it? Were they feeding it like their entire backlog of whatever?
No, they just gave it one season's worth because they have like 20 plus seasons or whatever. They just gave it one
yeah,
season's worth of YouTube videos, and then from there it just came out with an episode.
yeah. Good
Interesting.
Mythical Morning. They have so many. They've been going on for so long.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the title, but I don't think I've watched more than 2 videos of theirs. Um, I have a friend who watches them and watches the kitchen version. I've seen that. That's pretty good. I really into food videos right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
every time I'm scrolling on Instagram, I'll find a food video and then I'm just sucked in. It just shows me more and more and more and more, and then
Yeah.
I'm hungry, and yeah,
Are you
that's it.
more into the DIY food channels or just the food porn in general?
Um, honestly, it's the food porn. Like it'll show me this big picture of just a bunch of fried food, and I know all of it's disgusting, but I want it.
You hear
I
the
want
crisp
it
as it
so
hits the
bad.
plate.
I just
Get it.
uh-huh.
Food
Yep.
porn ASMR, that has to be a thing.
Ooh.
Oh, I mean, there's
I'm,
ASMR for everything,
I'm
honestly.
sure there's some rather rotund individuals out there cracking open crab legs into a mic that you can witness.
No, that's part
I'm
of
sure
mukbang.
there's tons of it.
Yeah, it's mukbang.
Mukbang?
You
Oh,
know what those
I
are
don't
or
know.
no?
Not really.
It's
Mukbang is
yeah,
basically a genre of YouTube videos where they get a big portionized food of it, a big
Mhm.
portion themed food, and they just eat it in front of you and talk while eating it.
Okay.
You think I'm joking, but look it up.
no,
Mukbang.
it's
You
and
want-
it's not just YouTube. I mean, any streaming service they have it.
I
people
believe
who,
you. I
yeah.
just all my food content comes in the form of like cooking, I guess. I don't
Mm.
yeah, I don't watch other people eat food. I think it's kind of weird, especially when they're like smacking their lips. Ooh,
I'm not. I'm not.
can't do it.
I'm not on the. I'm
Oh
not on the mouth
well.
sound train.
No,
No.
not for me.
It's really more of a popular thing in Japan, just
Uh-huh.
because of how tight space is over there, and how basically work life in Japan is basically, you know how here it's 9 to 5. Over there
Mhm.
is nine. It's basically nine. 9 to basically midnight for the most part,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
In
and the little
Japan, they.
time and
No, sorry.
and the
Continue.
little time they do have time to themselves, they'll eat their food and they'll put a video of somebody eating, so it creates the illusion they're eating with someone.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Man.
And even outside of Japan, just ever since, God, I was gonna say last year, ever since 2 years ago, uh, just with everybody being, to different extents, whether you're more disconnected, whether you're working from home, whatever, even work schedule, if like you work in a job like we do, where we're out, we see people, you might not always have the time to hang out with friends. So a lot of people, it's more convenient to turn on a YouTube video or a stream or whatever and have somebody there, and you're like, maybe I don't have my friend, but this person is essentially available whenever I want. So it's
Food prostitute. Nice.
yes.
So
Mhm.
out of all of
Is this
that, you
Zuckerberg's
came up with
metaverse?
fruit.
This sounds like Zuckerberg's metaverse, bro. That's what this sounds like. I'm gonna plug into the Matrix and eat food with this
All right, can
lady.
you actually give me a rundown? The only thing I know is basically the name change, but I
Hmm.
keep hearing memes out and memes. Do you guys know anything about that?
Very little. I understand that with because Facebook has been in the VR space for a little while. They own Oculus, right?
Yeah.
They bought it. So I my understanding is that the pivot is towards a more VR focused social media and just company in general, and that's the future that they see. As far as specifics, I don't really know, to be honest.
I
But
mean, because knowing, again, like you said, I haven't looked into it too much. Knowing what I've heard vaguely from, because obviously it's a whole other topic, like NFTs and all that, but the fact that
don't get me
they're,
started on NFTs.
what's
I will.
um, but the reason I'm mentioning NFTs just broadly is that with the whole metaverse thing is trying to, that idea of you have something, you have a character, you have an outfit, you whatever, and
Mhm.
Facebook wants to be, oh, you have it for your, your music, your social media sites, when you order food, when you're just home, and your computer screen, your phone, you're like, they want to be, what, maybe not controlling everything, just make it sound all nefarious and evil, but they want to be involved with as much as they can, and like not
Yeah.
just limited to, oh, you have your social media account, okay, now we have Messenger, now they own Instagram, they have your photos, like they're just trying to spread past that a little bit even more.
So
See,
basically, what I envision is basically you have your own avatar, like your own personal whatever, and just like on Discord where it would say what you're playing. I just imagine on top of your head, it's just your latest post. That's what I'm imagining.
maybe.
That,
I,
and yeah, like it's like I said, just trying to step its toes into everything more or less. Again,
so
not having
one
a
of my
big.
biggest gripes with NFTs is
I said the magic
I
word.
I can't show it off, right? So if it's a collectible, you want to show it to somebody. Like Rosendo's got a Pikachu over there. He's showing it off, right? Right there. You can't do that with an NFT. You have to go to somebody's wallet or whatever the heck and then look it up. And I guess it solves that problem, right?
I
So if
think
we're all plugged into the matrix like Mr. Zuckerberg wants us to be, I can show you my NFTs just fine.
because I think that's one of
Yeah.
the things also that It's almost like, funny enough, weird comparison. Have either of you seen the movie? I think you said you did. Free Guy.
Yeah.
I did see, yeah.
So like the idea of, you're walking around and okay, here's the world, but then I put on my metaverse glasses and you're wearing your NFT, you're wearing your pink studded spiked suit. Like that's one of
That's an
the
interesting
that's
concept.
one of the things where like that is something that I could see more of. Like, if you have your, Google tried their own thing at the glasses, which didn't go well.
It failed miserably though.
Oh yeah, Google's known for
Snapchat got spectacles or whatever they were called.
$500.
Yeah, and it's one thing that people kept saying, if Google failed at it, Snapchat failed at it, obviously it's not working. It's like VR was having a rough go for a while. AR, is kind of not fully dead, but that's what basically AR would be. Like
AR
you walk with
like
your glasses.
Nothing. AR is used to show like a product in a living room and Pokemon Go, and that's the extent of it. It's such a dead concept.
But what if you had it with your glasses and everywhere I went? Like again, to take that Pokemon Go to the next step. Like, what if I was actually seeing a Charizard 5 feet away from me, and I'm like, oh, and I click Pokeball, dink dink dink, and then like can it get there? Maybe.
Can it get there? Yes. Will it get there? I don't know.
That's the goal of metaverse.
The glasses, though, because it reminds me of the movie They Live. Have you seen that? It's an older movie.
I've not seen that.
Give us a little brief synopsis.
So essentially, this fine gentleman somehow stumbles upon some sunglasses, and when he puts them on, he notices that there are certain people and certain things that are different. So billboards, instead of saying like enjoy a nice Coca-Cola, it just says obey. Or the bank teller, instead of being dapper with his suit and tie, it's just like this disgusting alien. And so it's showing the inner workings of it all, like the propaganda, and there's these beings that live among us, right? Sorry, keyword among us, but
that's gonna be one of the tags.
Yeah, throw it in the description. We'll get some views.
So many views.
But I mean, it's just that's a concept that's been explored a lot, and I feel like there's more to it. We could get there technologically. I think it's already feasible, but you would need widespread adoption, and the only wearable that's gotten that, maybe an Apple Watch, like.
I thought you were going to say the Snapchat glasses.
No, like
those fashionable icons.
That's really
waiting in line 7 hours for those.
That's one of the first things that we've. I don't know. It's the only thing that we wear that's like technological like that. It just. But you would need so many people to plug into it, and.
I mean.
I feel like Facebook missed its opportunity, because everybody used to be on Facebook, and now it's so splintered. Everybody's just scattered.
Well, because the thing with the glasses, like, one, it's easy to make them fashionable. Like, you don't need them to have a prescription. But as far as like you need something that everybody has, there's already something that everybody has.
It's in my
the glasses don't need to be the thing that's doing the work. The glasses are just the thing that's like piggybacking. Like your phone, you have Instagram, Facebook, whatever signed in. Your phone is just projecting whatever is connected. Like they already have your pocket.
Yeah, but how would you see it? Like projecting how? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like if the glasses are basically like if you have like a smartwatch and you're getting calls or whatever from it, texts.
Yeah.
The watch, unless you have a cellular version. But the watch isn't getting the text.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
it's the extra step. But if you have glasses, you put it on.
Yeah.
You see that person's big old top hat with like Pikachu spinning around it and everything, like because the phone.
Yeah, that's true.
Branching off the NFT topic, two concepts that are actually being in a beta test right now is one by the Nelk Boys. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you guys know who they are.
Not
They're early
yeah.
early on. They were a very big prank YouTube channel, but
Okay.
then branched out to high brand clothing, and their NFTs by getting their NFT they come with physical clothing attached to it. And then I don't know if you guys know that's the one. And then Garyvee. I don't know if you guys know of the guy. He's
Uh,
very
Yeah, vaguely.
Vaguely, I used to know him as the guy who would review wine. I think that's how I first heard of him.
so basically he's known for basically he's the go getter. He wants you to
He's
do
like a
he wants to
guru
tell you
now.
he wants you to
Yeah.
do all like he'll basically tell you all the side businesses and how to make that side business work. That's what he's known
Mm,
for, and on top of that, he cusses a lot. That's one of his descriptions. Like
mm.
he'll cut when to explain something, he will cuss it out, whether it's good or bad, whether it's good or bad.
Quite the sailor.
What he's doing is an NFT basically NFT season pass ticket. So by you owning this NFT, you could go to exclusive events, and on top of that, so you could profit off this NFT and then sell it off so the other person could basically has the season pass for whatever else is happening. So those are two
What
adoptions that I feel like very good.
what events? Like his events?
They're very small. They're basically social media gatherings for the most part. Networking events that with very
Mm,
big companies sponsoring it and such. So the first one he did went with Coca Cola and Instagram. So he's doing
big
really good for
companies.
himself.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I don't follow him that much. I just know him as like the new age motivational speaker.
That too.
Yeah, I've seen him made fun of a lot. Like, I think somebody
Yeah.
made fun of him like going to a
He
garage
gets
sale.
roast on a day. He gets roasted every day. Poor
Yeah,
lad.
yeah. He's. I don't know if he's like a punchable face kind of guy or what, but he's got
Something
that
about his
face.
face. I just want to
Yeah.
sock it.
Well,
You
well,
just
ill
walk up and you're
will.
like, "Hey, look, you're really successful, and I don't have anything against you personally, but like,
Can I sock
please."
you? Not in a hurtful way, and of course it's in a video game.
Of course, of course.
But then, if
It's
in
in the
real life you
metaverse.
made the sound like it literally hurt,
It's in the metaverse.
So I want to straight pivot um, to the elephant in the room at the current moment. We're
Dino, what'd you do?
whoa. Uh, we're looking at corrections over here in the markets of over 20%, right? So Bitcoin down from like 46,000 or whatever it was at. I think the lowest I saw was 33. It's gone back up a little bit. Ethereum over there, quarter of its value just vanished. What what's causing it? Why does it make you scared? What are you thinking?
So basically, the stock market went to a big crash this past week and a half.
September.
Everything crashed, and a
Yep.
lot of the professionals are saying. A lot of professionals are basically stating, just a lot of professionals are cashing out. A lot of beginner investing are cashing out because they've never been through a recession, or a price stock. And then what a lot of senior investors are recommending, which has never been recommended before, is to go into retail. Those are the safest. Those are the safest stocks at the moment because retail will always go. Retail will always be booming no matter what's happening.
Sure. I
Like
can
in the
see that,
past,
especially
like in the past
with
2 years,
inflation.
what was the only thing open? Retail.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that uh, the things that were never closed are going to be your safest bet. So something like Costco, Walmart, Target, those they're never going to close no matter what. So
Pharmacies.
they're safe. They have good cash flow, and uh, it's easy to hide price hikes in individual items at a grocery store versus like say I don't know a singular company's items, right? Like Peloton stopped producing bikes because the demand wasn't there, and I'm pretty sure they didn't want to raise prices in regards to, like supply chain issues. So, it's easy to hide faults in big companies like that. So, I mean, that's a place to park your money, I guess. But like, personally, I don't know anybody who's sold. Everybody I know is just holding on for dear life.
A lot of beginners, a lot of beginner. Do you know what a rally is, Michael?
If it's a term, no.
So it's a stock term. So basically, a group of individuals, as soon as a group of individuals will see a stock, and as soon as it hits a certain point, that's when they all sell and the stock goes down. And that's
Okay.
basically a short
I think
version
that's
of a
the other way
rally.
around. That's like a dump, right?
I was gonna say,
dump.
I mean, yeah.
It
I was
goes up,
gonna
it goes
ask-
up, and then
Up, yeah, up is up is the rally, but
yeah.
up
Yeah.
is rally.
yeah. So I mean, we've had incredible gains, right? Like just I don't know if we're hitting record highs. I think we were just past November, but I mean we're seeing the damage. I'm not scared. I haven't sold anything. I'm worried like
So
that
something.
things go crazy, but they're not going crazy yet.
So this month, so this whole past year, I was a gambling man, where I would put my rent money into stocks, and I would see if it go. So if I made money, oh, that's extra cash. That's extra cash I didn't have. If I lost money, I would just pay the difference. And this past year, I've only gone negative twice, and I'm like, oh my. And so like just to see in that whole year that I made out of just doing nothing, just investing my rent money, and my rent money 10 out of the 12 months, making a plus out of it, just sitting there. I did nothing special. I just let it sit there for a month and cashed out when rent was due. It was just pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just two months I hit negative, and two months out of the last year I hit negative, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep doing it because that was just very good.
I think Garyvee calls that passive income. I don't know.
The passive
I don't
income. I think last year alone, but for me just doing that, I think I made roughly around $650.
Not bad.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, better than negative 650.
Oh, well, it would have been 800. It would have been like 800, but I lost 2 months. I did go negative.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I was trying to fix my camera situation, but I just made it worse.
It's all right. Not to brag, but like,
No,
I did
please
okay.
brag.
I did okay last year. I think if you didn't make money last year, you were either not in it or you were drooling on your keyboard. Either one. I mean, you choose. But
What I
it's
do in my
really-
personal time.
Yeah.
Under his rock.
It's easy to think you're God when everything's going up, right? And
Yeah.
now that things aren't just going up, we're gonna start
People
to
are throwing a
see.
tantrum.
Yeah, we're gonna see who's really knows their stuff, right? I don't know my stuff, so I'm holding on for a certain company's earnings, and if earnings are good, I'm out. I'm gonna cash out. But if they're bad, I'm just gonna hold on. I sunk cost really.
I was gonna say sunk cost over there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's advantageous to hold on for long-term capital gains.
As long as you can.
Yeah. So once you hit that year mark, you're gonna be at that. I think maximum 20% tax instead of whatever your marginal tax rate would be. So that's always good. But I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this before. We've had a few good years, but I think we'll hurt for a little while and then we'll recover. And I don't think we need to panic yet.
So one thing that was hurting us last year, I don't know if you guys are hearing, how some pharmacies were upcharging for some certain drugs where some pharmacies were surcharging for certain prescription drugs.
Yeah.
So your
Insulin.
favorite, yeah. So one thing that came into the news cycle this week is your favorite millionaire, Mark Cuban, is opening up his own
I heard about that.
drug
Saw that.
pharmacy. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the biggest criticism that he's getting is that almost even with or without your insurance, you're still getting it at a reasonable rate. They're not charging too much. The biggest complaint that from all the articles that I've read, I've read like 6 of them, is that he's not offering he doesn't have every drug available. And I'm like, he just started. What did you expect?
Yeah. If the drug's patented, he's not going to get a hold of it.
It's just generic. The generic version of whatever drug you need.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything too fancy. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's perfect cool. So even if you don't have insurance, his rates will always be the best.
I'd be very curious to see like what percentage of people are on non-generics versus generics, or like take drugs that are still copywritten or whatever term you want to use.
Oh, basically prescribed.
Well, yeah. I'd imagine that a lot of people just take the generics and that this fills their, I guess, their need. I think it's crazy that it hasn't been done already. Like it's taken this long. Like the biggest one you see is insulin in the news, but insulin's not patented. It's just not. Anybody can make it.
And mid last year, the opium crisis, how a lot of pharmacies got sued for upcharging that and basically making it seem like it was very scarce when it really wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. Back, I think 2016, record deaths for opiates, right? Like, we've gotten better, but I mean, there's better alternatives out there, and they used to just hand them out like candy, and clearly that was not the move. Not the move, bro.
Not at all.
I've never had a major surgery or anything like that, so I've never actually had to be on them. But I know people who have, and it's scary mistress once it gets a hold of you. So I don't know. I feel terrible because
I think the closest thing we have to that is just sugar.
and maybe
like imagine putting that. Okay, no, like imagine no sugar for a week. Can you do it?
I'm sure I could. It might be difficult.
The hard part is finding, it for a lot of people, it isn't even like, you look for an item and you're like, does this have sugar? Okay, good. A lot of times you just don't know, or you're thinking like, oh, this doesn't have sugar. This isn't sweet.
That's true.
Sugar's just in so much stuff.
Yeah.
One thing I never thought had sugar, what's it called? The classic cheese crackers of Ritz. They had sugar. I'm like, what?
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. There's so many things that you would just think, like, crackers. No, they're salty.
No,
cheese.
Cheese crackers.
Yeah, but you think like, okay, crackers don't need sugar. They have salt. Cheese doesn't have sugar. But then
that's true, right? I would hope. The one that surprised me was peanut butter, and not because I know it has sugar, but I was surprised at how little sugar it has. So I think it's something like 3 grams of sugar in a serving. But if you try no added sugar peanut butter versus normal peanut butter, it's so different. The no added sugar one tastes like nothing. It's not gross. But
I was gonna ask, did you like it? But
no, I didn't like it. That 3 grams of sugar makes all the difference. You budget that out. You need it. It's worth it.
Is the Justin's peanut butter no sugar?
I've never tried Justin's nut butter. I have seen it though.
Because I've seen the little serving package, just the portion size, and I'm like, It seems like some Farmer Joe's kind of shit.
I never tried it. Nope. I use Jif exclusively. That's my.
Oh, I
that's
just get
my number.
whichever one offers the most for the least.
Oh, you don't care
I don't care.
for any brand or
as long as it's the most quality for the cheapest price, I just get it. But granted, I haven't bought peanut butter in a long time.
Oh, just peanut butter.
I've been more of a Nutella boy.
Nutella is the way to go.
But even then, I get me like one jar every 6 months. I don't eat it like I don't go gun ho on it.
The thing that I've been
frosting.
Yeah, the thing that I've gotten into recently, and it's a bad habit because I know I'm paying way more for, like, I'm paying for the convenience 1,000%. The little Smuckers, like, mini frozen sandwiches that you let defrost, and I've been
Uncrustables.
So yeah, I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
That's why you get the bake pack.
No, I buy
the bake pack. The bake pack gives you 2 free. There you go.
I buy the bake pack,
unless you go to Costco, then you get more sales.
Go to Costco, come back with a fridge.
When I have kids, they're gonna have the most lit lunches, bro. They're getting everything that I wanted as a kid that I never got. They're getting it, bro. They're gonna be over there at the lunch table. What do you want? I got it all. I got it all.
They're gonna be like, I got 4 sandwiches, I got 3 juice, 2 packs of Oreos. Although one's
I'm hooking
for me.
that kid up. I tell you, yeah. I always wanted lunch, Uncrustables and Lunchables, and I never got them. So I would always trade for them. So it's like,
I never had that issue because I always got school lunches. I'm like, I'm not worried about bringing my lunch. So I'm like,
I always brought it. I would only ever eat school lunch when it was like not gross, which was pizza day.
I wish. So I wish they would get like 3, at least one appointed person per grade to go with the principal to the food fair, so they can put their input of what food to actually put at their schools. There's like
all it would take is one day to make a year way better.
Yeah, like there's like how there's like anime conventions, gaming conventions, and so much more. There's a convention of just food
convention.
There's school
Wait,
food convention.
That's a thing?
That's a thing, yeah. Because I went to it.
As an adult?
I originally wanted to become a math teacher, so I went as a part-time job. I went with the principal to that said event.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So what is there? Is it just like a big vat of disgusting slop or what?
So basically, imagine
all the people.
A swami where each booth is their thing, or a flea market. Basically, a flea market of every booth has their food they want to serve you.
So you know how you get like some swag, you get a goodie bag.
Yeah, we got tons of swag.
What was in it?
I think the most usable one was the Tyson chicken tote bag. It's like put everything in it.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Hold on, I got to get my bingo card. Where is it?
did they give you? We
said Among Us, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my god.
NFTs.
Yeah. I went to a gluten-free convention once, and that...
You almost made him do a spit take. You were so close.
Oh, no. Oh, this man is having a tough time over there.
A gluten-free convention?
Yeah, you know what? It was a lot more fun than you thought, because it was essentially an hour and a half of Costco samples. Amazing.
That's basically
so it was a Costco convention.
No, not. You just go around and you eat all the food, and you don't even worry about it. If it tastes gross, you just throw it away. I had pizza. I had fish tacos. I had like some granola. Amazing.
Gluten free.
Yep. So it was kind of not great, but it was free. So
I'm trying my best not to focus on the phrase gluten-free fish tacos. I'm really trying not to focus on it too much.
Say it. Say what you gotta say.
So for the audience, what is gluten?
So it's when it's a something in wheat, and when people who have celiac disease eat it, it makes them have stomach issues, right? So that's
Well,
I'm
I
not
just
sure
wanted a
what it
basic,
is.
I just wanted a basic example, like your basic breads, tortillas. That's what I wanted
Yeah,
out of you.
essentially like white bread.
Not
Yeah,
that it kills
anything
this people with this disease.
anything with flour. It's
Gluten
not gonna
kills.
kill
It's a
them.
murderer.
It's not gonna kill them.
Next to
When you're
sugar.
eating gluten, you are
Listen,
helping murderers.
listen. You know all about lactose. It's lactose but bread. Okay, that's it.
That's what I wanted.
Yep, that's all it is. What do we got over there?
Oh, I do have one announcement. I will be as long as the Rona doesn't get too wild. I will be attending a competitive card event in Texas
Nice.
In Texas, nice.
For Digimon
What March or what?
in March. I got my ticket for the event last week. I'm gonna get everything finalized next week.
How you gonna get there? You gonna drive?
That's
To
basically what I'm
Texas?
debating on. I'm Texas.
Could do.
You can't. That's a
That's where I'm
long
on
drive.
because I looked into it. Getting a plane ticket and driving there and back, basically the same price. So
Yeah, but
with
it's the
that
time.
knowledge, yeah,
I yeah.
but
I would
with that
fly.
knowledge, airplane, no questions asked.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you can rack up some miles over there or something. Make it worth your time. Um, yeah. The cutoff point for me is like Vegas. So we're in Southern California right now. All of us.
We wish the event was at Vegas. Then it wouldn't be that wouldn't be a
Yeah,
problem.
definitely would
We just
drive.
carpool. Me and my
Hmm.
friends just carpool and we call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with this, we have to
Anything
plan
further than
airplane,
that,
Airbnb, all that jazz.
yeah. So with that being said, Russia, as far as geopolitically, kind of not good right now. But crypto, definitely not good. There is a proposal on the books to ban cryptocurrency in Russia. What do we think about that?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it go through, but I think it would be interesting to see if, let's say, it went through, and then Russia was like, no crypto, boom, block off, forget it. If crypto for the rest of the world becomes what a lot of people are seeing it to be and what it easily could be, like if Russia fell behind, so to speak, on that, that's the repercussions of that could be something that could easily be everlasting for like years and years, like economically for the country. So it's just, I mean, I don't know the reasons of why and everything behind it, but it's one of those things where it's just generally not good to shut something out if it's, if it has potential to stay with the world.
Yeah.
One of the small reasons. Want to go ahead?
No, go ahead.
All right. So one of the small reasons why they're trying to ban it and why it's currently banned in China as we speak is long story short, money laundering. So they basically get their money. They take the Russia money and take the Russia money out. They don't want that happening to They don't want that happening to their money.
Yep.
But me personally, I think every country is allowed to do what they want as long as the country agrees. But yes, they
I don't know
will
about
if they
that.
do end up with. Oh well.
I think it's a dictatorship
This
over
topic,
there, but
this topic. Everything else they're
still
doing,
separate.
I don't
Still
approve.
separate. Uh-huh.
Everything else, I don't approve.
Yeah, I think it has to do with just old people. They just don't understand it. So one of the main things China did, or one of the main reasons why China did that, is to prevent people from taking money out of China, right? So if they're not using Chinese money to buy Chinese things, then they're using, other money to buy foreign things, right? Because nobody in China can accept crypto payments because obviously it's banned, right? I think Russia wants to do that, but I think Russia is missing out. All right, we sanction them pretty hard. If they just started trading in Bitcoin, that's it. That's all you got to do. That's how you skirt the law. Get on it, bro. Download. You know what? Not even Bitcoin. Let's go ahead. Let's go Monero. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it popping. All right, everybody. We're gonna download wallets.
For the uninformed,
Yep.
Jordan loves Monero.
I love it. It's the only true crypto. That's it. It's the
Want
only
to give
one.
a little brief summary for Michael?
So
Yeah, because I haven't heard.
Bitcoin is the OG. It's the original, and it was proposed as, an internet money, anonymous, fast transfers, no fees, blah blah blah. Turns out it's none of that. The entire history of a block of a single coin or any transaction is visible forever, right? So that's one of the benefits of a blockchain is nothing can be edited once it's already on the blockchain. But it also means that I can see everything that you've ever done. So if I'm sending, I feel like for morale purposes, if you were working at a job and you saw the address that people sent money to at your local Walmart, and you saw that it was filling up millions every day, you'd probably be pretty pissed, right? So that's one of the problems with such transparency. What Monero has is nothing. You can't see anything. You can't see wallets. You can't see transactions. Nothing. It's really, it fills the promises of early crypto idealism, and that's why I love it. It's the only one. Nobody else does it. It's a little bit antiquated in how you mine it, right? So it's not as scalable. So I'm sure transactions take a while. I haven't ever sent any, but it's the real deal, and I love it, and I'll always love it.
Until something new comes along that's better.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, once encryption is broken, we'll have to come up with something else. But for now, this is what we got. It's the best we've got. I kind of want to wrap it up here and talk about one of the biggest mergers in the gaming world I think we've seen in a long time.
We specifically saved this topic for you, Michael.
I was going to say something I could talk about.
Yeah,
something
you'll have,
that I know
you'll
a
have
little
few
bit.
words on this. Microsoft
Maybe.
buying Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, for whatever 66 billion or 44 billion, something like that.
68.7. Yes, I know the exact number.
Huge numbers. Huge.
All I know is that
at the point it's just zeros. It doesn't even make sense.
Maybe. What do you got going on? What do you think about that?
I mean, the one thing that because they haven't been bought. It's a weird thing. Like, it's still in the process. Like, it's not. I can't remember if it's finalized in summer 2023 or
they started it.
Yeah.
But it has to get passed by certain powers to make sure it's not being monopolized.
Yep.
But most likely it's gonna pass.
FTC could block it, but they probably won't.
And that's the thing. The conversation's been like, oh, is it a monopoly? And it's like, no, just one company alone. If you know any remotely stuff about games, like Tencent, if as long as Tencent is its own thing, Tencent is bigger than name any other gaming publisher, and Ubisoft, Take-Two, Activision, whomever.
Small fries.
Because again, the little joke I had earlier. Activision Blizzard's one thing, but Tencent has this in the world.
Yep.
I mean, the big thing for Microsoft, because people are like, oh, it's Activision, it's Blizzard, it's WoW, it's Call of Duty. They bought Call of Duty. Call of Duty is that. And you look at that and you're like, what do you mean that's Call of Duty? Because they got Candy Crush. Like, they bought Activision Blizzard. No. They bought Candy Crush.
Is Candy Crush even big anymore? Like, I don't believe it. First of all, when I saw the news,
just imagine the battle pass and getting new guns and skins, but more levels and different power ups with the fruits.
and again, you think Call of Duty, but Call of Duty, the age range, realistically starting like 5 to 6, although it's not happening. But then it caps out probably to like, I don't know. I mean, there's not an exact cap. Like, there's probably 50-year-olds who play, 60-year-olds who play, but the vast majority of the age range, the biggest piece is probably 16 to 30s. That's like the big piece. But sure. Candy Crush, that's your parent, that's your mom, that's your aunt, that's your sister, that's people who don't play games. Like, that's everyone else.
Those are all women.
Your uncle?
Was that specific? Was it? Or okay. Just
your uncle, your grandpa.
Your uncle who has an aunt?
Oh, okay. We'll include them then. All right.
Your twin brother.
So,
sister?
I mean...
Honestly, I was speaking from personal experience, but yeah, like Candy Crush, I mean, also COD Mobile, like it's definitely not a monopoly. I mean, you still have Nintendo, you still have, like I said, all the other publishers that are out there. Sony.
Honestly, I don't believe that even if every single game company merged into one, it still wouldn't be a monopoly, because the barrier to entry is so tiny. You just make a game and you can put it out. That's it. The only thing that would be monopolized would be
where you can distribute it.
Just platforms like Steam, Epic. But we already know that the Play Store and the App Store are already just like, that's it. Like, there's only two really that matter, and those aren't monopolies. So they might act like one, but clearly they've held up legally.
I know.
It's gonna pass.
Most likely it's gonna pass.
Yeah.
And I know Microsoft got it easy. They saved so much goddamn money with all the lawsuits that they got.
Oh yeah.
So basically, it got cleaned up, and hey, wrapping the ribbon, buy it.
Like, I don't know if
they got off hella easy.
I'm gonna save my words because I could spend another 20 minutes hating on the current and soon to be no longer CEO of Activision. Thank God he's gone away. Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
I hate the guy.
but it's funny because there's this journalist. Yeah.
Jordan knows nothing about him. Go ahead.
I don't know.
You don't?
No.
Oh my God.
Michael, your time to shine. I'm gonna give you the big screen.
I want to be family friendly. Like, you've heard about obviously no, please don't do that. No one wants that.
For it.
I didn't want the.
I wanted to give you the spotlight.
What happened to Jordan? We can't see him anymore.
You're fine.
All right.
Now you're good.
Hey, as long as he sees me, then we're all good.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason I can't see you. But
you need more memory over there.
Yeah. Since you don't know about Bobby Kotick, you've heard about all the lawsuits and everything with Activision, right? Like, what was okay? So that essentially Bobby Kotick, CEO, was when everything was coming out and it was coming more and more and more and becoming way more like, okay, this is 100% a thing. It's been terrible for a long time for a lot of people. Like, I don't know. Did you read any of like the stories, like the specific, like
a little bit? Just
like if you dive even a foot in, you're like, oh my God, how is this a thing? He was basically, as you expect, you would think, okay, hey, this is terrible. I'm the CEO. I'm way up here. I didn't know about this. And time went on, and he absolutely knew, like, he was well aware of everything, and was just like, wow, damn, look at that. That sucks, Yeah, and also there was something I heard from someone else who was quoting an article, so I'm quoting a quote, like something that the average like employees for Activision make on average like decent compared to the rest of the industry, but the percentage of like from the average worker to the upper management to higher and higher is infinitesimally like this. Like their pay is like that, and his pay is like that. Like it's, but
that
nice.
and on top of that, he's a completely very shady dealsman. In the past couple of years, I remember the game Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
When that game came out, he went to Twitch and was like, "Hey, we want you to exclusively stream the competitive. It's gonna be big. You know Riot Games? It's gonna be just like the Riot Games, but with Overwatch. The Overwatch pro scene, complete flop. And they sold the first contract for like 100 mil. And then the second year, he goes back in, let's do it again. And they did it again. the guy's damn dirty.
Sounds like a good CEO. Only the deals part, not the previous part.
Yeah, but
let me take that back.
The frustrating...
they never made their return on that investment whatsoever. But they couldn't pass it up.
Probably one of the most, like, the icing on the cake, the final straw that breaks the back for a lot of people of mentally dealing with, him even at a distance.
Icing on the cake is the right one there.
No, like the icing on the cake of like him being terrible in many ways. Yeah, the icing on the vegan, gluten-free, lactose-free cake.
I thought you were doing no sugar.
Animal cruelty-free. Animal cruelty-free.
You forgot
cake.
Sugar.
Sugar-free. Animal sugar-free. Animal sugar diet-free.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
You know what I mean.
We got you.
Like all these things that you're like, okay, it can't get worse, And I think it was, I don't know if it was last year, it was somewhat recently, it came out like how much he makes, and it was something like 155 something million a year or something along the lines of that. And maybe not a year. It was, he makes a ton of money. And people were like, okay, he's gone, he's going to be out. Cool, great. They bought him. They're kicking him to the curb. And it was some release recently with papers and everything about like, the gold, like they always have to call it the golden parachutes. What would happen if Activision was like, all right, Bobby, you're out.
Yeah.
And the range, I want to look up the thing, but I'm going to ballpark it because I vaguely remember the numbers. If Activision was to kick him out, there's a range of like 4 different ways that they could do it. He would get on termination somewhere from $230 to $290 million for being kicked out.
Beautiful.
So it's like, we did it, guys. We got the bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's all. Well, he has his private island in Cuba.
Well, he has his private section of the ocean. He has 14 different. Yeah, where he's just ziplining from helicopter to helicopter, in his free time.
Buying NFT land next to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy that one thing that people have been mentioning, all of that, like that part of it sucks and everything, but obviously for the developers, the coder, the programmers, artists, everyone who's dealt with all that crap, Microsoft in the past hasn't had a great past, but if you talk to most people now who work at Microsoft, it's become way, way better as far as, people feeling safe, people feeling, listened to. Like, I'm sure it's not perfect still, but generally it's been a lot better. So that's kind of the real win.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is positioning itself to be huge in games. I mean, they own some of the biggest IPs in existence, honestly. Like
we hear it every year.
Yeah, and
what was that?
I feel like they're gonna keep buying something new every year.
I don't know if they need to keep buying new stuff because they have established things. And one criticism from people who play other consoles is, oh, they're just buying stuff that's good. Yeah, but then they have studios that, aside from having quick example is Obsidian, who had worked on Fallout. They made Outer Worlds. they're also making a new series called Avowed. What do we know about it? Very little, but it's one thing to just buy what people know, but then you do want to make new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest problem is like sequels and stuff like that. They're really being driven into the ground. But with what Microsoft did with Minecraft, I could see it doing just fine. Because they expanded upon it, and honestly, it's probably more popular than it's ever been. So their track record's good. If you're into those games, if you're into Call of Duty, probably looking up. I'm sure the employees are probably happy to know that they're going to be working for Microsoft rather than Blizzard, Activision.
We have one friend who is.
Yeah.
Me and Michael. We have
one
friend who is.
Oh man. I hadn't even thought about that, yeah. I can't wait to see him come by and be like, so, how's work been?
I don't know this person at all.
You don't.
Yeah, we know. We know somebody, and he stops by. You won't really see Rosendo much.
Very secretive.
He just stops by for like 20 minutes, then he buys the stuff and dips. He doesn't stay for too long.
No, he just chills, right. Chats for a minute.
Before we wrap up, is there anything you want to talk about, Michael? anything on your radar this week besides the new Pokemon game?
Yeah, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I need to buy a Switch." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Oh, my friend said they want me to play Pokemon with them." I was like, "I have a Switch. Save your money on the Switch, buy the game." But no, I mean,
and then it'll be her Switch, and you'll be now I have to get the OLED.
Oh no, what a shame.
Poor Michael.
So we're gonna delete this proof of evidence, right?
Oh yeah.
This isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Great.
All I heard was wah 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 wah. Yep.
That's it. Stop talking. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, things that I'm excited for, I don't know. I'm just always excited for games. That's just always my thing. Although this year there's not too much for me. Like there's a handful of things, but like Dying Light and Destiny.
Maybe
this month's gonna be great.
Microsoft, Activision,
I haven't
Blizzard
checked the calendar. What is coming out this year?
I mean, there's a lot of games coming out. Like if I could pull it up, there's a lot, but a lot of it's things that like either I have no interest in it or I have little interest in it. So it's like there's it's not that there's nothing coming out. It's just for me, I've got my handful of things that I'm focused on, and then my like 20,000 games that I haven't beat that I've played for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, as the years go by, the less and less I actually know of what's coming out. So it's more like a pleasant surprise, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, like I recently discovered a game that came out 2 years ago.
Jordan's like, I play Candy Crush.
What game?
It's called Generation Zero. It's pretty cool. It's like imagine PUBG except not multiplayer, like just like a co-op kind of game, but robots took over the world kind of thing. But it plays like PUBG, like you're scavenging for guns, bandages, stuff like that. It's fun. Been playing that a couple days. Like I said, it's a game that's 2 years old, so it's no one's talking about it.
I play old games that are like really casual. I'm casual, like RTS games.
So I was gonna say Joypack Joyride.
No, not that one. Not a big mobile gamer. Okay. I don't know who you think I am.
I can just imagine you just go just going up and down.
No.
Dude,
no.
I can just imagine.
I play like Civ 5.
Once we get 100 Patreons, I'm gonna get someone to animate you playing a game.
100.
Once we hit 100,
shoot for the stars, buddy.
No, once we hit 1,000, we both have to get matching tattoos.
I don't think that's in my contract.
It's already posted.
My-
And then Michael has to get it both.
Yeah.
Let's just leave.
Uh-huh.
I gotta go walk my fish.
The
It's my favorite
1,000 goal will be
excuse.
up for debate.
I sound off in the comments about the 1,000 goal. I'm feeling OnlyFans, but do whatever.
Jordan only OnlyFans. I browsed by that website. There's tons
I
of
thought you
funny
were gonna
stuff.
say you browsed OnlyFans. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, like there's funny. There's some. There's
you
just
get-
there's some that people just do like. It's not only adult content. There's some people that actually do like Gundam builds. They make arts and crafts, and they post videos of how to make the arts and crafts. It's pretty cool. So basically,
Someone's
YouTube,
taking
but with a paywall.
All right.
Yeah, there's people that do like these little Gundam kits. I don't have that. It's one of my closets. I won't pull it out.
On that note, go ahead, check our links out in the description.
We got
leave us some
Patreon.
comments. Yeah,
We got
if you wanna
Patreon, and
support
if you
us-
buy, go ahead.
if you want to support us, you can do all that in the description. Patreon. There's some crypto links. Check out our social medias. A bit on crypto episode 2. Anything else?
We also, if you buy physical cards, I do have a link down there that if you buy, you don't have to specifically buy Digimon cards, but if you buy any trading cards from that website, it does give us a little chunk to keep this up and running.
Little taste. See ya.
Later, guys.